Welcome to Beyond the Silence, a podcast focused on breaking the silence around mental health and giving people space to share experiences and honest conversations. I'm Jess Strange, and in today's episode we'll be discussing eating disorders, recovery, mental health and the impact and the struggles these can have on everyday life. Before we begin, I just want to give a quick content warning, as this episode includes discussion around eating disorders and mental health, which some listeners may find sensitive. Today I am joined by the amazing Freya, who has kindly agreed to share her personal experiences in the hope of helping others feel less alone. Freya, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Jess.
So, shall we start off by just introducing yourself a bit, however you feel comfortable, and kind of a bit like your story?
Well, I'm Freya, and for 4 years in my life I suffered from anorexia. It caused a lot of issues, not only for me, but for my friends and family who tried to support me, and I wouldn't let them. So lots of relationships were kind of broken, but I'd like to think that I've healed quite a lot of them since recovering. And I just wanted to come on and talk to Jess because she's spreading awareness about everybody's mental health, and I just wanted to share my story because eating disorders are very prominent in the world today.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the thing is, people don't always match having eating disorders and stuff like that with mental health. But even though it's more than just how you actually are as a person, it affects you mentally as well. So of course the two and two go in hand. So yeah, it's a really important topic of conversation that I wanted to cover, because there'll be so many people that will listen, that will maybe be experiencing the same type of thing, or might have not even realised they're experiencing the same type of thing. But if you are, and you are listening, it is good to speak to people. So when did you kind of first notice that something wasn't quite right? Like, how did you notice? When did you feel that?
Well, this is the thing, I didn't notice it was my mum.
Okay.
And I think that's one of the big parts of an eating disorder and the recovery side of it, is you yourself need to know something's wrong to get help. Mm-hmm. So because my mum had gone and got help for me, she took me to the doctors sent me to CAMS sent me to an independent hospital, and they sort of dealt with me. I never really thought in my head, oh, there's actually something wrong with me, until I got sent to this specialised hospital with lots of people who looked to me very, very ill. But I didn't think I was ill. I thought I was fine. I'd seen something and thought, oh yeah, I mean, that's a good diet for the summer. I'll try that. Bear in mind, I was 12. You don't need to diet when you're 12. And I just started cutting down my portions, but I didn't think anything of it because, this model was very skinny and this was her diet and everything. And I also had someone at school who used to tell me every single day, oh, hello, fatso, the fatty's back, the fatty's back. And I just want to clarify, I've since seen pictures of myself from back then. I was not big. I mean, I was normal. Not fat shaming. But I was just a normal 12-year-old. Mm-hmm. But until that person came and repetitively and constantly, every single day of school. And I even had one of the PE teachers as well. She said to me, she was, oh, you could, if you want to still be on the netball team, you should maybe lose a bit of weight in your thighs. So I thought, oh, I've got big chunky thighs. And I said to my mum, and she's like, no, you're perfect. But it's my mum saying that. So I thought, no, she's just making up. She's like humouring me. So I took it upon myself to lose weight, age 12. And I didn't think there was anything wrong with that because I wanted to be skinny, and to me that was perfect. So yeah, I don't really think I ever realised at the beginning that there was anything wrong.
And I think that is the problem though, because at the time you obviously just thought like that's what you were doing. But like, what would you say kind of like influenced you to do it, in terms of like you mentioned the model that you saw and like people in school? Like, was it just like a mixture of things that actually you kind of just ended up dieting, like you said? Like what was like the main point that actually made you change?
I honestly couldn't tell you. One day I was me, age 12, normal, happy-go-lucky person. Not that it's not normal. And And then the next day, I didn't want my breakfast, I didn't want my lunch, I didn't want my dinner. And then I slowly realised that even if you don't eat all 3 meals, that doesn't make you lose weight. So I took things out of my dinners, I took things out of my lunch, I used to hide food, I used to bin food from school. It was not great. So I think it's just, there was that switch in school where I was part of a group of friends who were sticks. I wasn't a stick. I was very sporty and athletic, and I had a lot of muscle, and I looked a lot bigger than they did, like, especially in my legs. I always hated my legs. Still.
We all have these insecurities, yeah.
But I just, I wanted to have their legs, and that wasn't achievable because it's genetics. It's it's not all what you eat.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be them, and I didn't understand how they could eat like hundreds of packets of crisps and bars of chocolate and look the way they did. And I was exercising to my heart's content. I was up through the night exercising. I think I slept 2 hours a night. I used to get up at 2:30 in the morning and do a workout, and that would last until like 5:30 in the morning. I was 12.
Yeah, that's
and this
crazy.
continued until I was 16.
Yeah.
And there are still, I know it's bad, but there are still parts of that workout that I do at night before I go to bed or when I wake up in the morning. And I want to not be able to do it, but it's not as impulsive and it doesn't possess me as much anymore, which is good.
Yeah, and I feel like there's such like a pressure of how people should look, and like, I mean, body trends change every single year. Like, there's so many different trends that go around that people kind of want to fit, but it's not, bodies shouldn't be a trend because everybody is literally so different. Like, why I don't understand why social media has created like a body image trend, because it's not going to help anybody. And I think it's important for like younger listeners, if they have maybe felt the same as you or had comments in school, like you said, the stuff you couldn't change to be like them because it's genetics. They're not you, you're not them. Like, things couldn't change. And I think it's so sad that you were at a point where, like you said, you were up at early hours of the morning, like working out, and you were hiding food. Like, for you to be hiding food, like, I'm assuming like your mum was very, very aware of it, because
she was.
if you had to hide it, then I'm assuming like she wouldn't be.
I got to a point in school once I'd sort of started therapy and whatnot, that the counsellors, they phoned the school with my mum to inform them what was going on with me and whatnot. And the school assigned me with a classroom assistant who literally watched me eat. And that was the most like terrifying thing ever. And she reported back to my mum and whatnot. And there was this one day where I physically couldn't do it, because when you go through counselling and you start to accept recovery, they give you a meal plan that you've got to follow. And so mum went all out and she bought all these like snacks and things, because I had to have like 7 meals a day and like little snacky things. And so I had all these things, and I had a packed lunch, but I just binned it. And there was one day where this lady, she just saw me and she saw all that happen, and I just freaked out. I went mental. Like, I didn't even recognise myself. I just burst into tears. I exploded. I started screaming in the middle of the school canteen, mind you. Like, this was caught on camera by a lot of people. It went viral on Snapchat. Famous. And I just had a meltdown because I couldn't. My brain was just like, no, you're not eating that. It's not going to happen. And I had this voice in my head that I just couldn't quieten down. But I knew that if I bin that, she's going to watch it. She's going to tell my mum. My mum's going to get stuck into me. Counsellors are going to get stuck into me. But that was the thing. I wasn't doing the recovery for me at the beginning. I was doing it for my mum, because it was destroying her. Like, she was seeing me literally as, well, something that was about to die. I was really, really underweight. I didn't get hospitalised, really, because, thankfully, COVID came. For me, thankfully, but I probably shouldn't. And but I was strapped up to all sorts of machines to check my blood pressure and my heart rate, and there were a few times where like my pulse was really, really weak, and my mum, she'd just freak out, and it destroyed her, and I watched her literally crumble because of me. The same with my nanny and granddad, and my mum when she was still alive. Even she was like, "What's going on with Freya? What's happening?" So I was doing it in my head for them. So I was absolutely terrified of getting caught out of things, because I was still lying about food. I was still lying about what I did. And the times when Miss McBain wasn't in the canteen when she was sick, oh my gosh, I could throw it away. It was great, and Mum would never know, but I was still lying to her, and I hated that. But
I find it interesting that you said you changed things for your family rather than yourself, because I think that's something I'd like to touch on, because a lot of people, myself included, like with my story, I knew there was something not quite right, but the thing that actually made me get help was knowing that my actions are affecting other people, and I didn't want other people to be affected by me. And I feel like that's a really interesting thing for you to say, that like how your recovery has gone has been influenced by the people around you. And it's so important to have supportive people, and people that are, at the time you were probably thinking, oh, I actually just don't want to eat that, but your mum was like forcing you to. So like, what was it actually like in terms of your food and your diet? Did you not want to eat, or could you physically not eat? Like, was it both? Was it either? Like, how does it work?
Well, I say the first time around because I technically recovered for the first time in like 2019. I stopped going to counselling for a little bit, but I was lying to them. So the first time I just reduced my portion sizes completely. I was eating less than a 3-year-old. The winders, I would wind it, have like, I don't know, like that much, like a little strip of the winder, and that was it. That was the winder, and that was my lunch. And then for breakfast, I'd have like a little, I'd pour out, and I still do, I'm guilty of it, like instead of pouring the cereal freely, I'd stick my hand in and sort of look at it and count how many Rice Krispies, and then put them in the bowl with a little dribble of milk. And I don't know what possessed me to do it, but I just physically, in my brain, I wasn't allowed to have more than that. So and then the second time round, I was still eating like normal and keeping up the facade and whatnot, but I was working out like mad. I don't know how I survived, really. I was up from like, I'd go to bed, Mum would go to bed and I'd go to bed, and I'd be working out for about 12 hours, and then it would get to like the next morning and I'd have had like maybe a half an hour sleep on the floor. I don't know why, but I wasn't a prisoner. I didn't have to do that. But and every single meal, like breakfast, when I ate breakfast, I had to exercise afterwards. Lunch, I had to exercise afterwards. And dinner, because you can tend to consume more calories when you have dinner. It's a bigger meal in the day. I had like, that was my nighttime workout thing. And because that was sort of around the time of COVID, Joe Wicks appeared, and
of course,
and so did that Zoe Ting and all these online videos, which are great for people, if you do it sensibly. But I was addicted. I did all those videos a million times, and I made up my own routines, and I'd like searched up other things, and I'd done all these hit things, and it got to the point again where I just started consuming less food, so I wasn't consuming enough to match the exercising. So I don't really know why or how, but on these meal plans and whatnot, it freaked me out at first, because breakfast, I wasn't allowed to pour my own syrup. Mum had to sit in front of me, and it freaked me out to watch, for some reason, these Rice Krispies fall into a bowl, and she would literally stand there until I'd eaten them all, and I scream at her and yell at her, and like, that's not me. My mum's my best friend. But she had to force me to eat these things so I could get better. And then eventually I realised that I had to, and she was doing it for my own good, because it got to a point where she had a mental breakdown herself, and everyone was terrified that I wasn't going to make it to Christmas. And Christmas is my favourite time of year.
Of course.
So I had to get better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to up the intakes and whatnot. And before I became lactose intolerant, this is why I think I'm lactose intolerant. So
Freya's like free from everything.
Yeah.
Her nickname is Free From Freya
I'm free
because,
from Freya.
yeah.
The counselor therapy people, they said to me I had to have a McDonald's milkshake every single day.
Oh, wow.
Now, my mum, she doesn't like fast food or
Yeah.
anything. Like, she's at ingredients, make it fresh. She's a healthy person.
Lovely.
So for her to take me to McDonald's every day to get one of these, it was a large strawberry milkshake. And because I wouldn't eat the solid foods, but for some reason I would drink them.
Do you think that's because, like, I feel like I even think drinks don't have calories?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, drinks aren't going to make a difference. Do you think that is like played a part?
So. Yeah, and because at that point when I was drinking the milkshakes and whatnot, everything had to be blacked out for calories and whatnot.
Oh, okay.
So if there was anything, which there is on the back of every box of food, Mum would scribble it out or like patch up with stickers so I couldn't see.
Yeah.
And I wasn't allowed to come on the food shop.
Okay, yeah.
Because then I would search
You'd be
it and
looking.
check it and have a look and count up. Oh no, that I can't have that. No. So especially with McDonald's as well, like, and I wasn't allowed my phone for this period of time as well, so I couldn't search up how many calories are in this milkshake. And Nutella as well. I got big tubs of Nutella. It's disgusting the amount of Nutella I ate, but I'd rather eat a spoon of Nutella and a whole milkshake than like toast and eggs and fish. And
So basically, McDonald's milkshakes and Nutella saved you.
yeah, they did. They make up all your calories.
So in terms of like where you are now, like how has it all changed? Like how have you become a lot better with things? Like, do you still struggle with things? Because obviously I understand that there's things that are just going to always disappear. Like, you're always going to maybe have that little person in the back of your brain questioning things. But like, how is it now? Like, how was recovery? How did it go?
So eventually, I mean, I must have just got by it. I don't know how. And I'm sorry, I can't tell you because something just happened and I put on weight and accepted that I was going to have to put on weight. And when I did go back to school and folks saw that I'd put on weight, because during the time where I was ill, I did have people come up to me because I had abs, I was ripped and yeah, it was great, but it wasn't. There was this one girl, because we had a communal changing room for PE. She comes up to me, she goes, "Oh my gosh, you look incredible. Like, oh God, I want an eating disorder." And I was like, so this is cool. This is what I should be doing. So for me to go back considerably larger, but not overweight.
No.
And the attitude towards me at school changed.
Oh.
It was like, oh, she's not skinny. She's back to what she was. Like, oh. But before, that bothered me a lot. But then I just thought, for goodness sake, like, that's not going to bother me. I'm not defined by my weight.
Yeah.
Like, how I look. And there's a quote that Kate Winslet, I like Kate Winslet.
Of course.
And she said, I can't remember what magazine, but she was talking about body positivity and whatnot. And she was with Emma Thompson. And they both said, this is my home, this is my vessel, this is what keeps me going, it's what keeps me alive. And with like her face as well, she's had a lot about aging naturally, and she goes, well, your face tells your story, because I'm always self-conscious I have like a white face. And I'm like, well, it's my face, it's made up of my mum and someone else, but mainly my mum. And so I just had to accept, like, this is me, this is how I'm gonna look, and my weight will change as I get older, as I change. It might go up, it might go down, but I've just got to accept that. And there is a voice still at the back of my head, but it's a lot quieter. It's not at the front anymore. It's like way at the back, and it does come back quite a lot occasionally. And when it comes back, I'm like majorly depressed, and it just makes me feel like crap. But then you've just got to tell it to go away. Like, I need to eat my lunch today, because then I'm gonna pass out. And I already pass out anyway. So it's like you have to have your foods. You have, even if sometimes I don't enjoy it and it's a chore and I have to eat it, I'm doing it for me, to keep myself alive. Because before, I didn't care about myself. I couldn't care less if I was going to die. I remember being told by the doctor, yeah, we reckon you've got 2 months if you don't clean up your act.
Oh.
And I just went, oh yes, I'll be off, I'll be away, no one will have to deal with me anymore, I won't be a burden to anyone. Like, I hate myself that much. But now it's like I have a health scare and somebody says something like, oh, it could be to do with this. And I think, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. Like, that's really scary. I don't want to do that. Like, I like myself.
Yeah.
Because I have dreams now. And I've left school. I've left that tiny town of small-mindedness and nasty people. And I've come to uni and I've met people with open minds and who are like my family. And it's just like, the attitude shifts. And if I hadn't done that, if I hadn't recovered, if I hadn't quietened this voice in my head that sometimes still like stops me from eating things and makes me work out 10 times harder at the gym than I should be, then I wouldn't have come to York. I wouldn't have come to uni. I wouldn't have met everyone. And I don't think I'd like myself as much.
Yeah.
So,
and I think it's so important because like at a young age, your whole priorities are like what people think about you. And the thing is, no matter how old you get, no matter how much you grow up, no matter what you look like, no matter how much you change yourself or try to change yourself, there's always something that you're insecure about. But it's just learning to deal with it, because everybody has insecurities. Like, you could look at someone and think you are the most unreal person on this earth, and they also have insecurities. So I think it's important that people know that, like, yes, you might think they have beautiful eyes, but it's something like eyes. How are we going to change that? How are we changing that? And it is just important to stress the fact that it's your body. Like, it's amazing how the human bodies work. So we should do everything we can to look after it. And we're obviously, I'm so grateful to be like on this earth and living, because like there's, like you said, I've got so many dreams, so many things we want to achieve. Like, it really doesn't matter what people think about you. And it's so important that like you learn to push that person, whoever it is, give them a bad name and push them to the back of your head. It's hard, because I understand like you do everything, even your body makes you do things that you don't want to do. Like, you actually, like you said, you don't even realize when it started or when it ended, but like there's just a change. But listening to the people around you and understanding how things are affecting them as well is going to make you change. And I think looking in the future, knowing that there's so much life ahead of you, like how grateful, if you would have been then seeing how you are now, you'd be like, oh my God. Yeah. So looking back now, what's something that you would wish that other people understood more about eating disorders?
They'd known at the beginning that it wasn't my choice.
Yeah.
I wasn't putting them through hell. That wasn't me. That was something else. That's what I always say it's like a Jekyll and Hyde type thing. I don't recognize myself looking back then, not just in appearance, but mentally in who I was a bitch. Can I say that?
Yeah, you can say that.
And I was not nice to anybody around me, whether they forced me to eat or not. I didn't want to know.
I find that hard to believe. Like, I can never imagine you being anything but like an angel.
And I just wish that they'd known I didn't mean to hurt them.
Yeah.
And that, it wasn't my choice, and that there was a way out, and it didn't need so many arguments and upset and yelling. I mean, I really hurt my granddad, because I have no idea what I said, but I said something that struck a chord with my nanny, and she got really quite upset, because I think I actually said to her I didn't want to be here. And she's like my favorite person, and sorry. And and he got really, really mad at me. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
And he's like, he's my dad. And I just wish that he'd known I didn't mean it. I didn't want to hurt him. I didn't want to hurt my nanny.
Yeah. Afraid
Yeah.
you made me
So it wasn't me, it was someone else.
Yeah, it was the alter ego that I've never met.
Yeah, called Janine.
Janine, is that the name? Janine. Lovely. Sorry to any Janines out there listening. So that is today's podcast. Freya, thank you so much for sharing your story. Honestly, it means a lot to have different people on here speaking about their experiences. And obviously these conversations aren't easy, but they're so important, and I think this episode will have helped and will continue to help so many people, whether it's with themselves or understanding for somebody else. So if anything that was discussed in today's episode affected you, or you need any form of support, Don't forget there's organisations such as Beat, Mind, Samaritans and so many others that will offer advice and support. Thank you for listening to Beyond the Silence, and remember, struggling in silence doesn't mean you have to struggle alone.